In football, there's an old saying that goes, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Joe Mixon currently is dealing with a foot injury right now, which has forced the Texans to put him on the non-football injury list. He's not expected to return until the season is about to start. And the running back on the Texans that is expected to greatly benefit from Joe Mixon's injury is Nick Chubb. During the majority of his career with the Browns, he's been one of the 5 best running backs in the league. But over the last couple of years, he has struggled with injuries. He's getting up there in age, and the Browns didn't want to bring him back despite him being a fan favorite and a future inductee into their Ring of Honor. So I feel that Nick Chubb is the guy that's being paid too much attention to, and a guy that everybody should be putting their eyes on who's going to benefit from this Joe Mixon injury is rookie running back Woody Marks. Woody Marks, I was a huge fan of his during this past draft. He was my 3rd best running back coming out of USC because he can do everything. He was the best pass catching back out of everybody from this draft class. He is Mississippi State's all-time career receptions leader, which shows you just how good he is catching the football out of the backfield. He also is a really good route runner. And with the amount of versatility that Woody Marks brings to this Texans offense, it's hard not to see him taking advantage of Joe Mixon's injury to the degree where by the time the season rolls around and Joe Mixon is near 100%, Woody Marks could top Nick Chubb for that RB2 spot. Nick Chubb is not as explosive as what Woody Marks is. He's about to hit 30, if he isn't already 30 years old. And normally when running backs turn 30, that's when you start to see them decline, especially when you have the amount of injuries that Nick Chubb has had to his lower body over the last couple of years. Even if he is 60, 70% of what he used to be, that's not going to be good enough to hold off Woody Marks. Woody Marks has a lot of similarities in his game to what Bucky Irving had last year. And the big question that everybody's asking, at least when it comes to fantasy football, is who is going to be that next Bucky Irving, that running back this year? My pick is Woody Marks. He has great vision. He has a lot of acceleration. When he gets the football, he gets downhill incredibly fast. He's not as good breaking tackles, fighting through contact like what Bucky Irving is. He doesn't have a lot of breakaway speed neither, which was a knock that Bucky Irving had coming out of Oregon last season. But in terms of a guy who can help Texans passing attack that right now, other than Nico Collins, you have a lot of questions at who's going to be able to step up and be that second number 2 option for CJ Stroud to throw the football to. Woody Marks could take over that role. When you get into obvious passing situations, Woody Marks can come in and be a really good 3rd down option to keep the drive alive for CJ Stroud. Because essentially, with how good Woody Marks is catching the ball and running routes, when he's on the field, he's as talented as what a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 is. Most linebackers aren't going to be able to cover Woody Marks coming out of the backfield. And if you want to put a defensive back on them, a safety or somebody like that on them, then he's going to open things up for the rest of this offense to attack the football downfield vertically. Nick Chubb, he'll be better in short yardage situations than what Woody Marks is, just because he's still, despite him not having the same juice that he used to have in his prime, he's still going to be able to do a lot of dirty work for Houston when it comes to 3rd and inches, goal line situation. That's when Woody Marks probably will take a back seat to Nick Chubb. But right now, to me, Woody Marks is a better running back than what Nick Chubb is. And although he hasn't played a single snap of NFL action yet, when we continue throughout the course of training camp and we get into these preseason games, the Texans coaches and Texans fans are going to find out just how good Woody Marks is and how Nick Chubb is kind of a carcass of what he used to be. You can't play football at a high level forever, especially when you play a position that has a short shelf life. And when it comes to Nick Chubb, I feel more people are excited about him for the name instead of actually looking at the film, because the film will show you that Nick Chubb is a far cry from what he used to be. And even if you can get him to be 60 to 70% of what he was in his prime, he probably is still splitting reps with Woody Marks. And Woody Marks is a more complimentary back to have with a healthy Joe Mixon due to him being the best pass catching back on this offense, where he gets to the point when he's just so talented because he's so versatile. It's hard to keep him off the field because he does nothing but benefit your offense. Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb don't have the route running nor the hands that Woody Marks has to be a true difference maker in the passing attack, when the Texans are a team that's only going to go as far as what CJ Stroud is able to take them. So having Woody Marks out there definitely would help out this Texans offense a lot. I've already picked him up in all of my fantasy leagues because he has everything that you look for in a really good back. The explosiveness, the vision, the ability to find the holes when it may not be there at times, is all the abilities that high-end running backs have that Woody Marks possesses. And I'm expecting him to have a really big rookie season for the Texans this year. I'm not saying that he's going to be as good or better than what Bucky Irving is, simply for the fact that he's going to be splitting carries with Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb, but he probably will get more snaps this year than what Nick Chubb is going to get due to his ability to be an exceptional catcher of the ball coming out of the backfield at running back. So look out for Woody Marks. Everybody's eyeing Nick Chubb. I'm eyeing Woody Marks because he's just younger, he's more explosive, and I don't really think that Nick Chubb is good anymore.